Hi there, join our exclusive WhatsApp community to learn more about cyber GRC.
All right, don't forget the journey, folks. Our journey has been we started with foundation of IT in general. We went in and said, okay, let's get into the cyberspace and talk about some key elements. We talked about asset management to say how do we track existing assets, hardware, software, data in our business. We went further to say those assets should have a process to scan for potential vulnerability or weakness. Then we went further to say, okay, beside that, we should think about how do we grant access to those assets. Identity access management. We talked about role-based access. We talked about principle of least privilege. We talked about multi-factor authentication within the organization. Then we talked about segregation of duty too. Then we talked about monitoring and reviewing those access. Then we went further to say, okay, what about incident response? If there's an incident in your organization, how do we make sure we respond to those incidents also? Then we went into threat intelligence and said, okay, at the end of the day, internally, externally, how do we analyze potential threat, triage it, and see which is false positive, which is an actual threat? So we kind of just went through that in general. Then we went further to say, okay, in general, also, we have to think a little bit more and say, what about the process around risk assessment in the organization? So you have all of these assets, you want to see potential risk and assess those risks, the likelihood, the impact, the overall risk within your organization. We went further to say, okay, sometimes when you work and do stuff, we have to think about your third party vendors that work with you. They're your strategic partners, but their role is equally very important, right? And we said, okay, we need to have some mechanism around reviewing, assessing our third party risk in general. And we reviewed some document around third party risk management. We did vendor comparison of multiple vendors and different scenarios around it. We went through vendor questionnaires and things to ask in general. And we pulled in some reports in general also after that. Then we also went in and talked about some, how do we do an assessment in terms of the organization to understand the threat landscape and say, okay, in our case, we use NIST and ISO 27001, and we used it to map our existing security controls and we rank it. We didn't just map it, we took it a step further and said, what is the action item based on the gap we identified? Remember again, at the end of the day, the value you and I bring is not just telling me about the problem. Okay, that's a good starting point. More importantly is what am I going to do about it? Don't forget, folks in leadership need to make decision mostly. And which other better way than to tell them, hey, I'm not saying follow my stuff like a religious book, but what about in terms of prioritization? This is what I think should be big priority for this reason. And this is a timeline to resolve those issues. So you've given me a blueprint or a roadmap on things I can focus my resources on. Don't forget, as a leader, manager, mostly you're thinking in your head the resourcing from an angle of the people. Do I need to hire more people? Angle of process. Do we need to build new process? Tonight, before I jumped on this call, one of our mentors in a different consulting world, she and I were talking. Believe it or not, one of the things she told me was, "Hey, I identified some gap in this big global organization, and one of the challenges that the business said, okay, since you are looking at this now, can we quickly go build a policy around it?" And she said, for this section cycle, we're going to make it not applicable, not available, and make it a finding. Next year, you can, we would have worked on building it. Now, it's not like she could not have said, okay, go build it, right? But building it without a buy-in, if you wiggy wash it without really putting some thoughts around it, socializing with your team, doing training of the policy, it is not sustainable. So she knew that and she said, listen, we're going to make this a finding for this year. Next year, when we come back, we can, which I agree with her really, because come to think of it, yes, you can make them just quickly build something and get out of the audit number, fair point. But We're looking at proactive sustenance, meaning long-term sustainability in the long term, which I think when she told me that, I said, that makes good sense. So we learn every day. That's, because ideally you would have said, well, let them just go build it, right? And they built it, right? Good. But there's another merit to say, do it right. Apply the right training for all your department members and people buying. If you just go put together this whole thing real quick without buying, then in the long term it will fall apart because there was no leadership or management and your team buying. You just build a policy. Of what use is a policy without socializing it or training your users of the policy, right? So it's important to understand that too. All right, so that's how we got to this point right now. And remember again, I think one of our classes we built a draft resume for just to get us going also, which is good. So next week, this weekend, we'll get into fine tuning our resume again. We like to do it early versus later so that we can at least get the process going mentally. You start working, socializing your resume within your team also. All right, cool. Please don't ask question about resume now. All right, I know you guys start asking. No, I'm just a comment so that you know that we've not forgotten about it. That's all. Okay, so for today we're going to talk about policies and procedure. It's going to be fun. So let me ask you all. Okay, before we do that, let me let me. I'm just going to go ahead and let's quickly do the presentation. Then after that, I'll do some questioning. I'll do a quick quiz. Then we do our working session. But today's really fun because let me tell you one thing. Okay, okay, you know what? Let me make you see my pain in the past. 1 second. I'll show you guys something. I'll show you guys something. Sans.org. See, template. All right, let me share my screen. So some years back, ha ha ha. This is crazy stuff. Okay, let me show you guys. Okay. So before a few months ago, before let's say 18 months ago, something like that, when we build policy, right? Sans.org is a good, security outfit out there. So most of us in cyber, we know them. Okay. They have this draft policy template resource. Let me see, am I sharing my screen? Okay. So when you go to their website, we would go ahead and we just download some of their policy draft. Then we customize it to our own organization. Okay. This was the one of the ways we typically do it. So you can select and say, well, let me find something for network security. You can just go and download, then you modify, and you start enhancing it to fit your organization. Okay. That era is gone. Okay. That would be crazy. I've not even touched it I've not touched it for a while until maybe till today. It's been a long time I even went there. But anyway, the point I'm making is that from an efficiency point of view, it makes no sense to even, it's a waste of our time, right? So now there are more tools to use. So the likes of your AI tool, Perplexity, Cloud, ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, whichever one works, prompt it to use to build appropriate policy guideline for your business. That's the new normal. So the old way was painful. And I was part of that life, I go to past clients' samples, my internal organization sample, sans.org sample. So I go to use like 4, 5 different templates. Somebody said youtube.com or you.com. I don't know about that. But there are many sites out there, but it's just so painful. You are just constantly figuring out templates to use to come up with a policy or procedure or guideline. It's just painful. And that era is gone, and I'm thankful. I love this new era. So I say that to say, um, if you've not seen the stress before and you see the joy part of it now, you may not appreciate you know, you might think it's normal that you just pull some prompt and you have a good policy. In the past was painful, crazy. and I was part of that past. It was crazy, painful. I mean, it's good because you have job, but it was a lot of work. You just have to manually put in the wordings, the verbiages, just a lot of work. So it's better now, way better. So adopt this. Don't overthink and feel, because I've seen people text me in the past, oh, why are we using these tools, blah, blah, blah. I think it's fair to say most people will not text me again, that kind of stuff. I feel bad for anyone that texts and complain about AI tools. I feel bad for you because you're going to lose so badly, guaranteed. Because people will just be eating your lunch, and after a while, you start complaining and bitching that people are taking over your job. So we're going to play the game together, be efficient, add value. Okay. All right. Let's quick jump in. I hope that settles that up a little bit. Okay. Make you know that we're going to use tools to make it efficient for us. All right. Okay. Let's jump into the theory part real quick so that you guys will not say, all right, what the heck? We need to hear theory, but let's just talk the theory for a second, then we jump into the work.
Hi there, join our exclusive WhatsApp community to learn more about cyber GRC.